morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what time of day you're watching this, or indeed whereabouts in the world you are. I'm Mod. I've got a few of the guys from Team Tuxedo with me. Say hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we've got Squirrel, Mike, and DF with us in the studio, shall we say, and we welcome you to another edition of MoDCast. I think is what Mike decided this was just before we started recording. And the subject of this particular MoDCast is a mid-season review of our F1 six-player championship to date, guys.
Yay.
So first of all, let's start one by one. We'll go the two Team Dim representatives, Squirrel and Mike. Then we'll go DF. How do you feel your own performances have gone so far this season? Let's start with Squirrel.
Better than I initially expected, to be honest. I thought before we started the championship, I thought I'd be challenging for sort of the last place on the podium at best. The race in Australia just completely surprised me that I actually led that all the way through. It's been a little bit rockier as of late, but I'm still very, very happy with what I'm doing.
You have been quite consistently in the points or thereabouts. I'm looking at the spreadsheet we have for the championship, and you've got 4 wins so far. Yes, 4 wins. 3 wins.
Three wins.
Oh no, I'm reading it wrong. My apologies. 3 wins, including the double at Bahrain.
Yep, I've won Australia, China, Bahrain.
And you finished quite consistently as well. The lowest finish you've had all season is 4th.
And that was Monaco, I think. No, it wasn't Monaco.
And Canada.
No, Canada was 4th. Yeah, Monaco was 3rd. No, it was 4th, yeah.
It was 4th.
Yeah.
I remember that one because you were right behind me for most of that.
No, I crashed.
Mike, how about you, mate?
Well, to be honest with you, over the season, I've been getting better and better and better, really. Just because I was inexperienced at the start, and I was using the control pads. That was all right. It's fairly okay, And I then sort of obviously have quarter of the way through the season have switched to the steering wheel. Now I believe I'm just about getting up to speed.
You're certainly
getting up to speed.
Certainly getting there.
I feel my performance is improving. It's like anything; it's a learning curve. The more races that you do, the more experience that you get, the more settings that you change. Yeah. And you mess about with setups. You mess about with for me, I've had to set up the advanced steering wheel settings to try and make it so that when I do turn with the steering wheel, it actually turns sort of uniformly. Let's say. But on a whole, I feel my performance has been good. I mean, I've been getting a lot further now with the qualifying. I'm qualifying ahead of the AI opposition and generally about 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
And then finishing races in between 5th and about 12th or thereabouts. I'm not crashing, and I believe one of you, actually it might have been Locke. Locke was looking at my point of view, and he said I was quite smooth, didn't he?
Yeah, I think I remember that.
All I need to do now is I need to get those little extra, the extra bits of power out of the corners, and just not quite slow down as much and find a slightly better line through the corner, and I really feel that I could be very competitive. So next,
DF, I believe is your go, sir.
That'd be me, yes. Well, I kind of feel like I'm in that position that I expected, really. I'm kind of in between you guys, a little bit slower than Squirrel, Locke, and Watson, and still a little bit ahead of Mike and Maud, but you're catching up slowly. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to improve, but I'm not really practicing a lot, so it's just go for the 4th place each race. That's my goal.
Well, DF, you do say that you have a lack of pace compared to Squirrel, Watson, and Locke, who a lot of people at home are saying are the number 1 drivers for their respective teams. I'm not going to disagree in the case of Squirrel and Watson, but looking at the results here, you've only really had 1 major no score compared to Locke. And that's the difference in the tables. I mean, up until about Monaco, you were ahead of Locke.
Yeah, but that's because we both failed in Monaco. Maybe that's why.
I wouldn't call what you did a failure. I would call what you did good. What about me? Actually, no, wait. I was just screwing around.
Just Just for the purpose of those that might be watching or listening to this, I should say, wondering what the hell you guys are on about, could you elaborate a bit more on Monaco?
Oh well, basically, qualification on my side didn't go well. I was way too slow, really. And when the race started, it was so much traffic that I ended up hitting Bottas and lost my wing. And from there, it just go downhill. And then I was starting to get lapped. I tried to catch up again, though, but yeah, didn't manage to get a consistency in Monaco yet. So I ended up just crashing into the wall because I was fed up getting blue flags all the time.
For me, from my perspective, it was I wasn't particularly out to race around Monaco, which is probably not a very good thing, not overly professional, but the ethos for the race was stuff all the things.
I think from my point of view, Mike, I have to agree with you in that respect. I wasn't there to race, I was there to finish. And we all agreed for the beginning of Monaco, the race itself, before even the weekend itself, we all agreed that whoever finished would score well.
Whoever crashed the least, I think it was, wasn't it?
That's the one, yes, that's the one. Thank you, Squirrel. And lo and behold, 1-2 for Kitty Cannon. The only 1-2 all season, I believe, by any team. Not wishing to brag or anything.
Of course, well, it's looking competitive. At the end of the day, we've got Kitty Cannon now. What are the standings at the moment?
Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned teams, because I think we should move on to the teams briefly before we carry on with individual moments. Team Kitty Cannon have been using the Sauber, and we're leading the championship from Thin Plus by 21 points. We're on 241, they're on 220. And then Team Dim have lagged behind slightly in recent races. They're on 204. I think the biggest mistakes from Team Dim came in Monaco when they only picked up 12 points. Looking at the rest of the calendar, they've been quite consistent.
Yes.
A little bit, yeah. Monaco was a bit of a dodgy one, though. I did well to get that many points.
For those at home watching, wondering what people are using, Team Kitty Cannon are using Saubers, Fin Plus are using Lotuses, and Team Dim are using the Mercedes. In theory, Dim and Fin Plus should be walking all over Sauber. And I especially believe this should be the case because Fin Plus should be leading by a mile because they've got two decent equal drivers, whereas, no disrespect to myself or Mike, but we're nowhere near as good as our number one drivers, and we are losing points in the championship compared to our peers, right?
Indeed, yeah.
So Team Dim and Kitty Cannon are always going to struggle, but I'm amazed that Fin Plus aren't in the lead of the championship, DF.
Well, I kind of feel like I'm not there where you actually think I am. I'm a little bit behind. I couldn't keep up the pace in what was it? The last race was in Silverstone. Basically, I managed to keep up with Squirrel for a little while, but when we changed tires, well, everything went downwards actually.
That was an unusual race in that there weren't many mistakes made by anybody.
Nope.
All 6 human players finished in the top 6 of the race. Watson and Watson and Squirrel, had a decent ding-dong. Me and Mike had a pretty much race-long duel, however you look at it. Silverstone was probably the least mistake made, probably the most instant a NASCAR-style race, but the least mistake-ridden race, I think.
Well, I'm willing to say, because it's British, it's us, it's our home at the end of the day. It's one of our home grounds.
Unfortunately, I can't agree with that.
For us.
But I like Silverstone anyway, so...
Silverstone, it's a lovely track. I do wish that we could have gotten rid of Monaco. I wish we could have not scored anything, but then again, the race was incredible, so...
Squirrel, you were going to say something?
No.
I swear I just heard you go...
No, that's just me clearing my throat a little bit, sorry.
Well, on that note, Squirrel, have you got a memorable race from the season so far?
Bahrain, I think.
Fuck yourself.
And me, actually.
I know you don't like that one, Mod, but that was my choice for double points. I qualified on pole, and I believe well, I qualified on pole, but I got a penalty for crossing the white line going out of the pits. But I wrestled my way back up to the lead and led it for the rest of the race, I think.
That was a very dominant display from Squirrel in the Team Dim Cup vehicle there.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the safety car, I may well have been a lot further up the field, up the track from everyone else.
And on that point, I may have been second in that race if that hadn't happened.
Yeah. I
was-
had to really sort of fight to get first place off you in the first number of laps.
I believe I finished, third? Sorry, Mod, go on.
I was going to say, DF finished third in the end. He finished behind Watson. And
Yeah.
Mike, you finished in... 4 points would give you... That's 8th place.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, that's right, because I went off at the last corner, didn't I? And or the last corner at least twice.
Bahrain, I think, was my race from hell.
Yeah, I think we can agree there.
Then you had the two Team Dims. They had their... Not Team Dims. The Lotuses, sorry. Team Fin Plus. They had their worst race at Monaco, easily. How about Team Dim, guys? Where would you two say was your collectively worst race?
Monaco.
Yeah. I think, well, individually for the race perspective from me, it was Canada. It's one of my favourite tracks, but I made a couple of mistakes. Got a drive-through, crashed a couple of times, and I struggled to even get back up to fourth.
And
He
it was
was
raining.
wet.
Yeah. But as a team, probably, Monaco.
One thing's for certain, though. After racing in Canada, I can now release my title as Rainmaster. I failed horrible on that track.
You know what?
Go on, sorry, Mike. Go on.
You know what? I think I might start thinking about taking that title because I'm not overly bad in the rain.
You have to be better than everybody else to claim that title there, Mike. I mean, Canada, you finished in... what?
Fifth.
Fifth, was it? No,
Fifth.
that was Silverstone. I think you finished 6th.
I think it was 6th, yeah.
Possibly.
At least
but-
it's better than I.
Right, let's leave the subject of our races behind for a bit. Let's talk a bit more about the game. Codemasters F1 2013. DF, what would you like to say to Codemasters? If you could ask them to change one thing about the game, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, upon thinking, I probably would come off with it right now, but I suppose we discussed this during one of the races. But I mean, when the damn safety car comes out, you and me, Mod, have experienced this.
Yes.
That we can't unlap ourselves.
I was going to say, I know where you're going with this one. Carry on, mate.
Yeah, and that's kind of shitty rule because when a safety car is out, you gotta have to let everyone else pass you, and you kind of lost the whole race there. That's a really shitty thing about Codemasters, and they should really fix that, and maybe also fix Tim.
I think we all agree on that one.
Oh, yes.
Well, on that note, Mike, what would you change about the game?
You're limiting me to one thing.
Well, DF had to. Be cheeky. Go on.
All right then. Physics system.
Eh?
Holy crap, the physics system.
Go on. I'm interested to hear about this one.
The driving physics, they just don't feel right. Yeah, admittedly, I've never driven an F1 car before, but I'm pretty sure that driving an F1 car wouldn't be quite such an understeery experience, let's say that.
Oh, you should have seen Assetto course, which Mod has.
That is awful for
That
Mike.
really is.
Yes, I was watching that earlier. In actual fact, guys, go check that out because it's really cool. But also a complete slating because it's not very good. But yeah, it's all right. It's close to balance, but it needs a little bit of extra balancing on the physics side.
If you want understeer, Mike, try F1 2012. I believe that particularly that was particularly horrible for understeer.
Now,
Whereas
to
with
be
F1
fair,
2013, I personally feel it gives you a lot more positive feedback. Yes, it's more difficult to spin, but it's a lot harder to push as hard as the other guys. But at the same time, I think it gives me a lot better feedback for the way I drive, and I think the others might agree with me on that one.
Yeah, I kind of agree there as well. I did race a little bit on 2012, not as much as you and Watson, but yeah, that was kind of. It was a complete difference when I changed from 2013 from 2012.
but of course,
They're completely different. With regards to your understeer, Mike, try playing about your setup. Give yourself a bit of toe out, bit more positive camber on the front wheels, and you should be alright. That's what I do to get rid of my understeer. That and I brake in a straight line, and then I turn. I don't try to brake and turn, because that automatically gives you understeer.
oh yeah, that's one of the cardinal rules of racing as well. You do all your braking before the corner, go through it, power straight, power out, put full power on as soon as you feel that it's right to do it, essentially. But smoothly.
So what Mike would change about F1 2013 is he would like to know how to actually drive.
No. That's only a very small bugbear. This is only personal taste. The big thing I would like them to change, and this would be a complete code base rewrite and everything. The AI.
Yes.
The AI,
I'd agree
absolutely
with
the
that.
AI.
I can agree with you there. Though I know the past with Lewis, Gamosaurus. I've been watching his legendary few races, and the AI, well, kind of seems more impressive as the difficulty increases. But I guess they didn't manage to solve the coding for the AI on the lower difficulties.
No.
It's a shame, and it also makes no sense.
And at the end of the day, you get generally, it's when an AI driver just in brackets gives up and just starts driving around the track at about 30 miles an hour, and then suddenly you either goes through them or the game engine fails completely and you end up slamming into the back of them. It then gives you a penalty.
Maldonado.
Yep.
And the other thing being the blooming phantom penalties. Now I need to stop listing things. Hashtag CM. I mean, Codemasters
Hashtag CM sucks, everybody.
Yes. Hashtag CM sucks.
need to change.
The penalties definitely do, but let's give Squirrel a moment to talk here, shall we, guys? Squirrel, what would you change about F1 2013? Hint, talk about the penalties.
I was actually going to anyway. It's something that happened in Monaco to me. It's where you've been given a drive-through penalty, but you've lost both of your front elements. It will make you take the pit stop rather than the penalty, which means it's penalising you doubly. It's making you take a pit stop, then go back around to take a drive-through penalty.
There should have been an option to choose whether you want to go for the pit stop or for the penalty.
Pretty much, yeah. It was brought up in the video, actually. I think Mod mentioned it should be like left on the D-pad or something. Should be you choose whether you take the penalty or whether you take your pit stop first. Because I didn't want to take a pit stop. I was happy driving around without any elements. I still had the main plane of the front wing, so it wasn't affecting me that much. But it's the way that it made you take the pit stop rather than take the penalty.
Yeah.
That needs to be sorted out.
It does.
Maybe it should have been an opposite way around, though.
Yeah, it should make you take the penalty over the pit stop in those situations anyway. In cases where you've got a puncture and you've got a penalty, you may as well take the pit stop. But it's when you've got a damage that isn't really affecting you that much, it shouldn't make you take the pit stop. You should have the option to choose.
Mm-hmm. Because especially on Monaco, it seems that if you lose both of your elements, it kind of makes it easier, doesn't it? Very slightly.
In a way, yeah. It doesn't really affect you that much.
I think it affects your braking more because you don't have as much downforce in the front, but it doesn't
Especially
affect your ability to turn in or anything.
Coming out of the tunnel, yes.
Oh,
First ball.
that corner.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. The Russell across. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, while we're thinking about memorable moments, let's talk now about the actual Have any of you guys got a single yes moment?
By the way, Mod,
Yeah?
you haven't said your opinion on Codemasters. What do you think? What do you want to see improved in code? I mean, in F1.
Yeah, come on.
There's nothing really that's... I know what I'd change. Easier moddable skins. I've tried to mod Sauber, gave in. I've tried to mod the Force India because I don't have as much time on my hands as anybody else in the team. I've just gone, okay, fuck it, I'm not doing the Force India anymore. Because I'd rather just give it up now rather than trying for a couple of weeks and then go, actually, now I'm giving up. So but the skin layouts on the cars are stupid, make no sense, and there should be more like 2012 and other previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's mainly Watson that's got the time to do them.
That and Locke as well. I think Locke, by the way, guys at home, Locke, massive credit to Locke for doing as many as he has done. We've got the McLarens,
Yeah, it's true.
We've got the Lotuses, the Jaguars, Mice Brawn.
They're all pretty.
Yes.
I believe he's also doing me a skin at the moment. He's basing it very lightly on the one that I've already created, but making it prettier because it's a little bit flat and boring. And
I want to give a gold scar.
Ow!
I want to give a gold star to Squirrel for his K-turn.
You really shouldn't.
It's that awful. We can't miss it coming.
Yeah,
Well,
we can never.
that was the point of them. They were supposed to be that bright and horrendous that you could see them from a mile off.
That works.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say next? You threw me off, DF. Asking me about my opinion on what I'd change. I was going to say something. I had a great flow acting as the podcast host and getting everybody talking, and I've been hands off, letting you guys talk about this and that and doing your own thing, and then you throw me a question. What?
Hey.
No, really? Yes, what is your one single standout moment from the season? Let's go with Squirrel first.
Oh God, you're making me think on the spot now.
You should have been expecting this. Season review, mid-season review even.
I know. I think it was probably the I'll have to go with Bahrain again, the battle with DF to get the lead. Because it was just a struggle to sort of catch up with him in the first place, and then he was not letting that position go easily. I had to fight him for a few laps to finally get past him. And even then, he wasn't giving up. He was still right up behind me. It's just one of those races where I had to up my game a little bit just to really try and get away from him.
Mm.
But other than that, I can't really think at the moment what others. But that's probably the main one.
Yes.
Go on then, Mike. Seems like you just pipped up then.
Right. For me, to be honest, Silverstone, where I managed to get a fifth, I was really proud.
That's your highest finish all season.
Yeah. It's my best finish, and to be honest, in terms of stability in the racing itself, it was my best race. I didn't make I did make one or two mistakes, but I didn't make any of the usual mistakes that send me flying off the track.
You did make a mistake that I saw, because I was chasing you for most of that race, and it was in the very last corner, the very last lap. You went a little bit squiffy, but I went more squiffy trying to get past you.
Yes.
And you're also the only person on this grid that has worse braking than me.
Yeah. That's because what I need to do, I need to adjust it. What I'm thinking of doing is going lower on the pressure, like low on the pressure, and increasing the size of the brake discs instead, just to see how that works. It's because I'm not used to using pedals and having driven a real car in real life. I'm not used to the fact that you have to really have to pound the brakes to really get much. And so I'm braking really lightly. So I'm braking like very, very early.
It's completely different from a road car, isn't it?
Completely different. Yeah, absolutely so.
On that note, DF, your turn, sir.
Well, I actually have to mention a qualification, which didn't go through, and that was from Silverstone as well. I actually had pole position for a short while, and then the game crashed.
Yes.
Silverstone, that was a memorable one for everybody, I think. 'Cause that was
Yeah.
4 or 5 takes, was it, in the end?
5
Yeah,
takes.
5.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Just to know, hashtag CM sucks.
Yes.
How about hashtag Mike's intros suck?
Yeah, it seems
Also
that every
true.
time Mike did the intro, it crashed on us at some point.
Yeah. It's because I haven't rehearsed them.
Nobody really rehearses their intros. I mean, let's just hang on. Let me just pause the recording for a moment. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Good morning. You don't rehearse your intros, Mike. They just flow. It's nice to plan one in advance, but you don't ever rehearse them. That's just silly.
I have to rehearse everything.
That explains so much about your F1, knowing you in real life, everything. Everything.
For me, confidence. Confidence has always been a thing. But I believe with this that it's helping me with my confidence a lot.
And on that note, can I now publicly take the time to tell you, Mike, to stop beating yourself up? You are a good racer. Stop being a dick about it.
And that's the way I work.
For those that haven't been around since the beginning, Mike puts himself under huge amounts of pressure to get quick. He wants to get fast and be winning as soon as possible, and he's just putting himself under too much pressure and forgetting to have fun. So, Mike, take a moment, chill the fuck out, enjoy the fact you had a good race in Silverstone, and just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going to happen now, guys? Silverstone is going to be Mike's water point, as it were. His watershedding moment, even, where he's just going to win a couple of races and he's going to show us all how it's done because he's remembered how to have fun and relax and have confidence, as he says.
I hope he does win a couple.
Bloody well need it.
Yeah.
And on that note... Sorry, go on, Squirrel.
Get a couple of Team Dim 1-2s.
And on that note, I'm very happy I didn't take the win in Monaco. I don't think I deserved it then. Watson's got this thing that he still owes me for a couple of races last year, and I shouldn't have taken it in Monaco. Until the championship is decided one way or the other between Squirrel or Watson, or maybe even Locke and DF, they...
Say it might not be one of us. We might have an appalling second half to the season.
You might have a rage quit. Watson might have a rage quit.
Nah, I'll never rage quit. If I'm
Oh.
playing solo, then I will, but multiplayer, no.
Well, let's now, in towards the last part of this recording, shall we start thinking about future moments in the season when we've still got 4 double-point races to go? I mean, we've got race 11 is Spa, chosen by Watson. Then straight after that, you've got Brands Hatch, chosen by Mike.
Yes.
Then you've got Monza. Singapore is round 14, double points by Locke. Oh no, we've got Austin.
Yeah, we've
which
got
is
5.
Yes, my apologies. We've got Austin, which has been chosen by DF, and the season finale, Brazil, chosen by me. But has anybody got any particular race they're looking forward to?
Ooh.
Suzuka.
You do like your Suzuka, don't you, DF?
Yeah.
I think that was the first race when we were doing our little 4-player mini-series before we did this one. And that was the one you suddenly went fast, and me and Watson were like, shit, this guy actually has something. He's not sandbagging. He's going for it.
And I think you guys will agree with me. Sorry, please go on, Dragonflame, if you want to. Yeah.
No, I'm done.
I think you guys will agree with me with this one. I think you know which one's the one I'm looking forward to now.
Your double point choice.
Yes.
Brands Hatch.
I love Brands Hatch.
That's going to be an interesting one, I think. There's not many overtaking opportunities. It's about keeping it on the track and not having any understeer.
Best thing is to get a good qualification. And get rid of the AI.
Lapping cars in the race is going to be interesting for you front runners.
Oh, I didn't mean lapping.
Well, it's quite a short track, isn't it?
It's
So,
a minute track, essentially.
yeah.
Top runners should be aiming for 1 minute 1 for pole
Yeah.
position.
40 laps, maybe?
Wait, I've managed that before.
It's going to be an interesting race for sure.
Definitely,
is.
yeah.
I got a for sure in. Yay!
Faux show.
Seems to be like the staple diet of F1 media interviews. Yes, we had the great race, and for sure we had fun. For sure, for sure, for sure,
For sure.
for sure.
Why are you sounding Irish?
I don't know if I was head. You're telling me now why I'm sounding Irish. I don't fucking know.
Irish!
Tax!
Yeah.
Right, so DS looking forward to the Suzuka. Mike, you're looking forward to Brands. Squizzy?
My favourite tracks have already gone. I suppose, out of the ones left, probably Brazil. is the one that I'm best at out of the rest of them.
Don't you fucking dare.
What?
I want that one. I'm actually going to practice on that one.
Although-
I believe before the beginning of the season, we all had a gentleman's agreement to not practice, and then someone started practicing, someone else started practicing, and now I believe I'm the only one that doesn't practice. So I might actually have to practice for Brazil.
Well, I suppose the one race I really, really do want to win is Spa, because it's Watson's choice of double points. I want to get him back somehow for Silverstone. So if it means winning his double points race, that would be awesome.
I want to agree with you, but he's my teammate. I'm going to have his back on that, mate. Sorry.
I know you will. Although
That's
I'm not
fair.
going to be dirty if you come to lap me. You know that much.
No, you were going to in Bahrain until you realised it was the last lap, and they thought, no, I won't.
Yeah, you can't interfere with shit like that.
No.
Me and Locke has been discussing a new tactic though,
Uh-oh.
which is a secret.
You can't say that, then Dennis, this is a secret.
Well, it isn't really a secret, and I was just joking. We're basically going to add boobies behind our wheels, and you're gonna get distracted and drive off the roads.
I won't be close
Eh.
enough to see them, it's okay. I won't crash, but... Yeah, the others might be
Maybe.
close enough.
No,
Maybe.
we won't.
Okay, then. Predictions for the championship. Your top three. DF.
My top three.
And constructor as well, while we're at it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, actually, let me rephrase the question a bit then. Top three drivers and top three constructors. I think we know which teams are going to be in the top three. I just want to know which order you... Anyway. I'll shut up now.
Right now, let's go with drivers first. It's kind of hard to choose between Squirrel and Watson. I'm not so sure Locke will manage to get the consistency of winning, so if I have to go with someone, I'm going with Watson. Sorry, Squirrel.
That's alright.
And in constructors, that's going to be a close one. I bet Mike is going to get improved as well, so they might close in that gap.
The constructors is way too close to call right now.
Yeah.
I mean, all it takes is a double DNF from Kitty Cannon and a 1-2 from Team Dim, and everything's changed up.
Yeah, exactly. What happened when you had your 1 and 2 in Monaco? Everything changed.
Actually, let's just bring up the tables real quick. Looking at Spain, Spain being the race before Monaco, if anybody wondering, it was Finn Plus leading the championship on 164, then Team Dim in second 147, and Kitty Cannon with 145. And then fast forward to Monaco, and we have Kitty Cannon leading on 188, Finn Plus 164, and Team Dim 159. That's how quickly it switched up. And that's how close it is right now after round 8.
So, what should I say? I guess I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna root for Team Finn Plus. And on second, no, I'm not gonna say that because I might. No,
Say
I
it.
think as
No, the question's been the top three.
okay.
You've only named one for each so far.
Do it.
Team Kitty Cannon and Team Dim in third place.
Pretty much matches my predictions, if I'm honest, except with the drivers. I would go for you in third, because Locke, he will... No, wait, you said... Who did you say for third? You said Locke, didn't you?
I
Didn't say
actually
anyone.
I actually never went that far, maybe.
Oh, dear.
Let's go with Watson, Squirrel in second, and I believe, Locke is going to be the third one, I think.
I agree with you, except I think I have exactly the same choices as you, except I think you'll be in third, because Locke will be too busy trying to NASCAR people.
Yeah.
Squiz?
As much as I'd love to say I'm going to win it, I honestly don't think I will. I honestly think that Watson's going to win it. Then,
I'm going to help him.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be Watson winning it. I should be second if I keep up my consistency. And then it is going to be close between Locke and DF. And I suppose at the moment I would say Lock, but it could switch either way between those two. As for constructors, I think it's going to be Finn Plus. Purely because they're going to have the most consistent drivers over the whole season, I think.
Definitely.
Then I'm hoping that myself and Mike of Team Dim can get ahead of Kitty Cannon.
Dim Plus.
Dim Plus,
Super
yes.
Dim. Super Dim.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
I'm hoping Team Dim can get second and then Kitty Cannon third.
Just to put it into perspective between how close our nearest AI rival is, though, Ferrari in 4th place of 64 points.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We are miles ahead of the nearest AI teams.
Holy crap.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
But we're not changing the difficulty for anybody wondering at home, because as soon as we do make a mistake, the AI is on top of us.
Yes.
And finally, Mike.
To be honest with you, for the drivers, I completely agree with Squizzy. Now, I'd like to see us, for the constructors, winning it because, all we need is a little bit of extra consistency. I'd love to see us win the constructors. That was one of the things I was aiming for us to get.
We need more consistency. You mean you need more consistency?
Well, yes, us as a team.
Oh, I see. So Squirrel goes off doing the winning. So you both, when he wins, you both win. When you fail, you both fail. Is that what you're saying?
No. That is not what I'm saying.
It sounds like it to me.
No. When Squizzy wins, we both win. When I fail, you just laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, that is, I believe that's how I'd like it to go. I would like to see Team Dim in the top of the constructors. I really would.
And in second and third?
Finn Plus, then Kitty Cannon, to be truthful. Just because, Finn Plus, super, yes, super awesome. And then Kitty Cannon are, well, let's say there's a driver with a pink helmet.
You guys really don't have much faith in Kitty Cannon, do you?
Well, there's a driver with a pink helmet.
And I have rainbow stripes on mine.
Yeah, that's all right. Your car looks nice. And your helmet looks nice.
Thank you, Mike, I think. Okay, let's think about wrapping this up. You've done all this, done all that. Okay, single, funniest, most amusing moment from the season so far to end this video on, Mike.
The start of Monaco. Definitely. Because chaos. I started off on the starting straight. I rounded the first corner and rammed just everyone.
That was your fault. Oh,
I was
God.
evilly laughing.
You were a little bit, yeah.
So for me is one of that for me made me laugh ridiculously. So that's my favourite moment so far. Or
Oh dear.
most funny moment.
Squizzball?
I think it was in China where, during the recording, you just started laughing quite maniacally as well, and said you've just got to watch the footage back. So I went to, I think it was like lap 18 or something,
Lap
and
15.
just see you nerfing someone off the track.
That was
Yeah.
clever. That was going to be my moment, you bastard.
Yeah.
I think of another one now.
There was also Alonso trying to fly behind you.
I had
Oh
just guessed
yeah,
that one.
actually.
Yes.
DF?
I actually was going on the same thing as Squirrel, actually.
Damn it. Well, I've got two. It's going to be either Locke winning his first race, it's just like, yes, you have pace, Locke, now shut up.
Yes.
Or the one where it's the same race, it's Silverstone, and it's the same race, and it's in qualifying, and I just see a button in front of me. I'm a bit pissed off because I'm having a slight moment with my body deciding it doesn't want to work at that particular moment in time. So I just went, right, button. Nerf! Didn't get a penalty. Yes! That was a good one for me.
Then there's also in Canada, during qualifying, I just thought, right, I'm not going to do any better. The next person I see on this track, I'm just going to nerf them. smash into them. Oh, sorry, DF.
Oh dear.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, sorry.
You were gonna kill someone and you decided to kill me.
I think I started breaking at the last minute when I realised it was you.
Okay, final question now for this before we finally wrap it up. I know I said that last time, but your goal for the rest of the season. For me, it's going to have to be keeping ahead of Mike in the Drivers' Championship and maybe getting close to DF and Locke. And let's go reverse order in the championship. Mike?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's very tough.
What's tough about it? It's a simple question. What do you want to do for the rest of the year? I don't know.
Well, seriously, that is a tough question. There's obvious things. I'd like to win, but that's not going to happen, let's face it. But, alright, let's go for... I'd like to continue getting a bit more consistency and just continue getting, I don't know, aim for thirds, seconds, perhaps even our first. You know what I mean?
Dream big, Mike. Dream big.
Yeah.
DF?
I'm actually just wanted to continue being consistent. I don't really care too much about winning, actually. Just collect enough points and improve in rain.
Squirrel?
That's basically it.
Ah, okay, cool. I thought you were done then, mate.
4 words. Beat Watson, win championship.
That is a nice goal. Yes,
It's
I support you on
my
that one.
goal, and it's achievable, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. But that's my ultimate goal, I think, now.
This has been an interesting recording, gentlemen. We have had one representative from each team here. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for listening to yet another MoDCast. I've been Mod. With me has been DF, Squirrel, and Mike. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.
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 Dream big, and we shall see you on next Monday for the next race in Germany. Bye-bye.